Go.
Okay, so we're continuing our the topic that was raised by Lakshmi Priya Devidasi, and I just wanted to add a few more points. And what I'd like to say is I feel the main point in this regard is that, you know, we have come to Mahaprabhu's movement, and Mahaprabhu's movement is actually about love, you know, the distribution and reciprocation of the highest type of love. And so the standard that is expected here is very, very high. It is not like what you will find in even other Vaishnava lines. But here, the standard is service with love. You know, of course, we are not at such a high level, but unless our service is performed with some type of, you know, love and attachment within our heart, does not have so much. It does not count for so much. And our gurus, you know, we are nowhere, but our gurus, they are, you know, raga nuga bhaktas. You know, they expect some type of feeling in our heart when we are coming to do service. They don't want anything else. And I was remembering the occasion we heard when our Param Guru Maharaj, Sridhar Maharaj, he overheard an argument going on downstairs. Or there was some lady who used to come to clean the pots in the kitchen, and she couldn't come that day, and so there was an argument that broke out in the kitchen over who was going to clean these pots, you know, because nobody wanted to do it. And our Param Guru Maharaj, Sridhar Maharaj, he was very disturbed to hear that, you know, and he came in his old age and practically blind, you know, he came down the stairs and, you know, told them, "You get out of here." You know, we heard this from Devashish Prabhu. And I heard from another Gopeshwar Prabhu, I believe, that he said, you know, I came here alone, I started this alone, you know, and I can continue alone, so you all leave, you know. For him, this was like very painful, that what he is considering to be such valuable service, you know, this is such a valuable opportunity, such great service, and they're quarreling over who will do it. Rather, they should be fighting because everybody's rushing to do it. You know, not the opposite. Rather, everyone should be competing, you know, to offer themselves in service, not the opposite. So for him, this was like so nasty, you know, this very precious thing. They are treating like something very low. So in the same way, we need to have that type of appreciation for the service opportunities that we have, regardless of the vision that others may have. We have to have that type of appreciation. And that was the way that Gurudev handled us, actually. He was very patient, you know, and his mood was to encourage the devotees. He wanted the devotees to come forward of their own accord. You know, he wanted the devotees to come forward out of their own desire with some affection and desire in their heart. You know, not out of some feeling of, you know, pressure or whatever, all these other things. Like we heard from Vishakha Didi, very nice story. I've told this many times, but it's relevant to this, so I can mention again that she was Srila Gurudev's personal collector, right? And so it was the year, I don't know what year it was, maybe 1995, the year that Srila Gurudev went to Bamampara for the first time, like since he'd left 50 years, maybe it was 95 or something, maybe 95. And so it was a very special year. Gurudev's Vyasa Puja. It was known Gurudev was going to go to Bamampara for the first time in 50 years, and there was like a big group of Westerners there, and, you know, very festive, happy atmosphere. Vishakha, maybe Sachi Didi was there, and Vishakha was there, And then one time, maybe it was like a week or something before Gurudev's Vyasa Puja, and one morning Gurudev was sitting with the devotees and he expressed very sadly, oh, I just received the news that the Vrindavan construction has to stop. That time construction had begun in Vrindavan for the temple guest house. And Gurudev explained, oh, I just received the news that because there's not enough funds, the funds have run out, and now the construction has to stop. And he was very disappointed. And Divya Shakti's sitting there. She's Gurudev's personal collector, right? So she's immediately thinking, oh, maybe this is my responsibility. Maybe this is my duty, but she felt a little torn, because I'm here with Gurudev, Vyasa Puja, Bhavampara, I don't want to leave, But then she's feeling this pull, oh, maybe some service duty is here, some service responsibility. So she thought about that a moment, and then hesitatingly she asked Gurudev, would you like me to go and collect for you? And she said, Srila Gurudev responded very happily, and he said, yes, this is the process. He told her openly his policy. This is the process. Not that I will ask and you will do, but you will come forward and you will offer. This is the real process. This is real service. And this was really Gurudev's mood. He was never pushing. If anything, in my experience, in my personal experience, and also what I saw in some other cases, he would even use reverse psychology. That if somebody was coming and offering themselves, he would push them back a little bit. I had that experience with Gurudev. He would push them back a little bit. He could see very deeply to the core of their heart and see exactly what they're ready for, what's the right way to deal with them. And sometimes even push, someone's coming forward, oh, I want to offer myself exclusively. Okay, wait a little bit, let's see, wait a little bit, And then actually what happens is that desire intensifies within your heart, completely like we see sometimes, this pushing. You're in Maya, you need to give yourself wholesale. It has the opposite effect, actually. And Gurudev also spoke about that in regards to parents and raising their children, that he said it can, like antibiotics, they can lose their power. You have to deal in an affectionate, gentle way, not too much pushing, repetition, all of this. It can go in the opposite direction. And so in the same way, we have to be, what I'm saying here is two things. One, that we ourselves have to try to do the service that we have with some desire, with some affection, and with some genuine appreciation for the value of what it is, regardless of what 1,000,001 other people are saying or doing. We ourselves need to have that deep appreciation for whatever little service it is that we have. We need to really feel that and engage ourselves accordingly. This is on one side, within ourselves, the first thing, to adjust ourselves. And then second thing is how we will relate with others, in regards to all these things. We need to give them the proper impression of what it's all about. We need to make something attractive for them. That is very important. And also, everyone is at a different place, and everything is relative, And by that I mean, somebody coming to the temple like once a year, to us it may seem like we're here like full time, 24 hours a day trying to serve. For another person, they may come once a year. And we're thinking this is, they're in Maya, they're coming just once a year. But for them, that's like a huge deal. That's like a huge thing. And maybe they're even going to be talking about that one visit the whole year. So it's like, everyone's at a different place, and we have to accommodate and nourish everyone wherever they are. And sometimes I'm surprised, persons who are not so involved, hardly come to the temple. I'll see them on very rare occasions. But when I do see them, I'm surprised what type of affection they may express, what type of appreciation they may express. And so we understand there's something ticking in the background, you know. And when the moment is right, you know, then they may come forward. But it must be something natural. And we also, you know, may experience how very little things that we do, they may make a very deep impression on someone, and may be that like sparking light that will inspire them to go deeper. Like I had one experience like that, which is just like miraculous. It was a few years ago. One devotee, he wrote and he asked for some books, but he also asked for some deity paraphernalia. And so it was like a little bit of a complicated, you know, like package I had to prepare. I had to go to the market, try to find these things that he wanted, and we went back and forth a little bit, making sure it was just the right things. And it was a little complicated, but you know, I dealt with the devotee like in a patient way, and I made the package as nicely as I could, and you know, then I forgot about it. You know, this was like 2 years ago, maybe 2015, something like that. And now that same devotee, he was so inspired by that little thing. Now he's serving in Navadvip, and he told me he's doing the service that I used to do. And he told me that was like the thing that made me, I was like about to enter into Grihastha life, but I was so inspired by that package that you prepared for me, and now I decided to come and serve in Navadvip. I was like, this is like some tiny little thing, but I tried to do it in a nice way, and that made such an impression. It precipitated this like life shift for him. You know? Of course, no doubt, this is due to his own sukriti. You know, and we're just like some instrument on the other side doing some little thing, you know, part of a much bigger picture. But these experiences, they make you very conscious, you know, like whatever little interaction we're having with persons who may seem to be like on the fringe of things, we have to make sure it's as positive and attractive as possible. Because any little one of these little interactions, they can be something to like precipitate you know, like an epiphany, you know, or like a major life shift, you know. That's everything. I think those are the things I wanted to say.
And I think also some devotees have their sadhana at home. You know, maybe they're not able to come.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily talking, I mean, maybe as a way of addressing this, I'm saying coming to the temple, but I don't mean that. I'm talking about someone being consciously engaged in Krishna consciousness, whether that's at home, whether it's at the temple, being engaged in some type of service life. Yeah. Doesn't necessarily mean they're, you know, always at the temple, sure. That's all, that's true. Sadhana means service, actually, in the highest sense. And of course, someone can be doing that at a distance. Harsh, you want to add anything? Corrections, additions?
Very nice to hear. Many sweet devotees out on the perimeter.
Should we turn this off? Do you know how to do it?